Well, then I want to talk to you today about how your health affects your gray hair and also how your gray hair can be telling you something about your health. So, since last year, last fall, I have not been feeling my greatest. And within the past month and a half, things took an even more intense turn. I told you guys a little while ago that I was dealing with some health challenges. So, I recently got a new diagnosis, um, an autoimmune condition that's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Now, this is a hypothyroid condition. What was interesting that I learned about it is there is a difference. You can have hypothyroidism without having Hashimoto's. But I basically went and did my checkup because I was just feeling a part of my chronic illness is that I have fibromyalgia and other things. Fatigue is a constant companion. That's something that's consistent. But within this past year, like it's been hard to get out of bed. It's been hard to get things done. And so I went and got my blood work done. I hadn't got my blood work done since 2020. And when I got that done, even when the doctor was checking my neck, she had noticed felt there was something suspicious. So I was able to go and get a thyroid ultrasound, which wound up being clear. There were no nodules on there. Um, but the blood test showed that I have very high antibodies in my thyroid. So, autoimmune condition basically means that your immune system is attacking a certain part of your body. And so, for me, my immune system is attacking my thyroid gland. And if you look up the symptoms for Hashimoto's, it really explains why I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling. And another reason why I bring this up to you is because when you're dealing with hypothyroidism in particular, it can affect your hair. It can feel dry, it can thin, and it can feel brittle. You also can have hair loss that comes with that as well. Now, I think I told you guys a couple of videos ago that when I did my hair, I was starting to see a little patch and I was getting nervous. I'm like, is this alopecia? Like, what is this? Like, it just felt like there might be a little something going on. I don't want to mess with my hair right now, but I just want you guys, if your hair could be telling you something about your health. Now, a lot of people wonder, why does my hair turn gray? I do have a video that explains some of the mechanics behind that. Each of us have kind of like a time clock in our hair strands where our hair stops creating as much melanin as it used to, as well as there are some other reasons why our hair can turn gray. One of them can be health conditions. I think there is a specific health condition that can cause gray hair. Um, and then also, if you go through a really stressful time or a stress, maybe cancer or something like that, where your body goes through a shock, then that also might cause gray hair because there are some people. Let me know if you guys have any of these conditions in the comments. Um, Sometimes some people go gray and then they notice that their hair turns back. Like they actually have like some darker roots coming in again. Sometimes that could mean that it's not necessarily the issue, like I told you with the time clock, where you're running out of melanin. It could just be because of uh, health stress that you've had that can cause your hair to go gray. So if you're dealing with dryness and thinning and your hair feeling brittle, then I would say, if you haven't recently, to go get blood work. Now, I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to be giving you medical advice in that way, but I'm just sharing with you what happened with me. I just turned 40. I'm going to be turning 41 soon. And it is common. This Hashimoto's is a very common autoimmune condition. It happens to a lot of women, women of color, and also within this age time. It takes a while for it to show up because there are many times that I've went to my doctor and got blood work and the blood work was fine, um, as far as my thyroid was concerned. But I recently saw a video that said, let your symptoms, even if you go to the doctor and they tell you, well, everything looks good, if you are still feeling horrible, still continue to do your due diligence to find out what's going on. Like in 2020, when I had got my blood work done, my TPO, I don't remember all the acronyms, but it was like a two-digit number, 14, and then now it's like over 600. So it just goes to show that my body, my immune system is just like, going in for my little butterfly gland. So like I said, Hashimoto's is a common condition that can affect hair, and there are many of you that can be feeling frustrated. You're like, okay, I didn't really change anything in my product regimen. Why is my hair feeling like this? Sometimes there's something going on internally that could be affecting your hair. So this is why sometimes when I have different clients who come to me, I definitely make sure that I ask, are you on any medication? Because that's another thing that could be affecting your hair. Um, like I said, health conditions. And there are two other things that could affect your hair, whether you have gray hair or not: stress and diet. And this is something that I am starting to realize, because it could be very easy to just focus on products, products, products. But then when you are still having issues with your hair, you can feel like you're at a dead end. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Why does my hair still feel the way that it does? So if we're not getting enough, nutrients or deficiencies, if there are deficiencies in our diet, that could affect your hair too. So what's interesting that I learned about Hashimoto's, especially when you just have a child, and all the that can be a stressor that happens to your body, that can cause that immune condition to crop up. I remember when I first had my son, having issues with not like my hair falling out, but uh, having definitely some issues with not a lot of hair loss, but like some patches. And my hairdresser then asked me to check to see if I had an iron deficiency, and I did. And so, like I said, it's really good, not, besides the fact that you want to keep ahead of your health, but if you're having issues with your hair and even your skin, because Hashimoto's also affects, and it can make it really dry. And let me tell you, since I've been getting on a regimen to get this under control, I feel a difference in my skin. It's like so interesting, how that works. So it's important to take care of your health. Also with stress, that was the second thing. So I told you that diet could affect your hair, or if you're getting enough water. And I'm trying to get myself together because I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself. And I don't think you have to be a mom to struggle with this, but definitely if you're a mom and you're taking care of others, it could be easy to forget about yourself and taking care of yourself. And I am trying to get a regimen together to make sure that, like, diet is important. We hear it all the time, and not just for your overall health, also for your hair. So making sure your hair, you're getting the good fats, getting enough hydration and vitamins and minerals also affect our hair. So if you're being honest and you're taking a, what do you call that? You're taking stock or looking at your routine and seeing how it's affecting your hair, that can give you some answers. Because maybe it's not that you have to get new products, maybe it's you have to up your greens or you have to up your water content. And then the other thing, which is also not only affects your hair but affects your health, is stress, right? I remember my mom going through a really stressful time in her life, and she started like, I mean, the back of her hair was just like, you know, um, she was losing hair. And so if you're dealing with a lot of stress in your life, that could be another reason why your hair is not responding the way it usually does. And so I do have a video that I'm working on editing. It's really short, where I do want to address those who do deal with chronic health conditions. This life in general is stressful, right? Then you add in chronic health conditions, and that's just another added stressor on your body that your body is constantly trying to deal with. And so that can definitely have an effect on your hair. That could affect thinning, and also circulation. So today I'm really proud of myself. It's been a while. I had gotten into a walking routine to help with my health, and I fell off heavy. And just now, I went out to go for a walk. I paced myself because what I'm noticing when you have chronic health conditions, especially on a good day, like I'm feeling okay today, it can be easy to try and overcompensate for all the time that you weren't like that. And you have to be careful because you want to be able to keep long term and not short term. So, the past couple of weeks have been really, really hard, because I, I thought that because I'm dealing with chronic health conditions since I was 18, that with this new diagnosis, all right, it's not nothing I'm not used to, but I did have a moment where I was just like, okay, it especially when you're dealing with autoimmunity, it's not just okay, let's get the thyroid in place. When you have autoimmunity, it can also go to other areas. So, my cholesterol, my blood sugar, it can affect a lot of other different things. So, this is a video to encourage you to take care of yourself. Listen to your hair, not just when you are getting product for it, but see, this is something that after I had my son, I knew I had the iron deficiency. I also did some blood work and found out I didn't have iodine at that time. That was 6 years ago in my thyroid. But keep up with the work, keep up with how it is that you're feeling, because that can be a big issue. Another great thing that I've told at least two of the clients that I've worked with, is have a dermatologist that you trust, so that you can have them check your scalp and start to see maybe beginnings of any alopecia or any kind of hair loss. Because that seems to be a lot. A lot of women who I've talked to, who have gray hair, are dealing with that issue. It's common, so definitely don't think that you're alone in that. But having a dermatologist, or I think there's also someone called a trichologist that you can go to for them to be able to look at your hair and scalp to be able to see if there are any issues with that. So remember, guys, when you're taking care of your gray hair, it's similar to when our hair wasn't gray. Your hair can tell you a lot about how your health is doing. There are some tests that they can do where they take just a strand of your hair and they can tell a lot about you. So if your hair is feeling dry, feeling brittle, and it's thinning, get your thyroid checked. Get a thyroid panel, blood work, go to your doctor. And even if everything is okay, hi there. Congratulations. Your hair is thinner at the top and the front. And I will tell you, so is mine. Another thing I want you guys to know when it comes to not just our hair, but just as we get older, we know the phrase that change is constant, but you continue to see the truth of that statement. You cannot go back on when you were in your 30s, when you're in your 40s now, and think, well, my hair didn't do that then. You're in a different decade. You're going through different things, and I'm noticing the same thing. Whoever just commented that, I'm noticing that I'm getting like a little bit of receding. And I think this is when I was a baby, I had very thin hair. My mom barely could get my hair into a ponytail. So I wouldn't say that that's changed. My hair is very fine. But something that I've been noticing lately is just, I don't know if it's breakage or not, but like I have my hair starts right here, right? And then it just starts to go up. So like this area And another thing I realize is times that I've done braids, maybe when I've worn wigs or had tight stuff around my hairline, I don't think we get enough encouragement to protect our hairline. And especially when we were coloring our hair, guys, I realized that was the place that I colored. That was where I grade first in my hairline. Let me know where you guys grade. Did it come in like salt and pepper, or did it come on your hairline as well? So, of all the places that I reapplied color frequently, it was my hairline. And so I'm thankful I still have edges, but they're not, you know, it's not the same. And so, like I said, now that I've been diagnosed with this autoimmune condition, it kind of helps me to understand a little bit about how my hair has been behaving. Hi, Paula. It was your hairline too. Yeah. You think of not only color, but when we used to get relaxers and get touch ups, that was the first place that they put that. And that's, of course, the place where you would itch or maybe get scabs and things like that. Marilyn, what do you recommend me to protect my hair? You have to get braids for a couple of weeks with the synthetic hair going on vacation. Um, Definitely still keep your scalp clean if you can. The beauty of having your hair in braids and synthetic hair is, you don't have to, it's low manipulation. You don't have to deal with it. I don't know if you've ever tried dry shampoo. You started graying in the middle. Okay. And now it's all over. That's different. Usually most people it's either salt and pepper or the hairline. But yes, Marilyn, I would say try some dry shampoo to keep your scalp clean. I'm not sure how long you're going to be keeping it in for, if you're just going to do it for vacation or longer than that. And then mm, I don't know how you do with oils. Some people I know who have braids oil their scalp to keep it, you know, keep it moisturized from everything. But yeah, I would say that I haven't had braids in my hair in a long time. But from the videos that I've seen and other hair professionals, they mention that it's still important to make sure that your scalp is clean during that time and not keeping them in too long, the braids, so that you can keep your hair out. Because I will tell you, when I had braids in my hair, I was super lazy. I was just like, oh, my hair's in braids, so I don't have to deal with it at all. But now, if I were to get braids again, I would make sure that I cleanse my scalp. So I think when you have braids, you don't want to um, put too much in there because you don't want it to be fuzzy. You want to maintain the look. But dry shampoo is pretty cool because they have. I actually have one here that I'm supposed to review for you guys. I think it's from the Dove brand, but that at least lets you to get to that area to keep that clean. And I would say if your scalp is really exposed, even make sure if you're going on vacation to put sunscreen. I have been educated by you guys letting me know that there was some of you who actually got cancer in their scalp. And especially if your hair is gray, this is another thing I'm noticing. Like our scalp is a lot lighter. I don't know if you can see that from here, but our scalp is a lot lighter, and because we don't have the melanin, our scalp isn't as protected as it usually is. So I would say protect that scalp, and don't leave the braids in too long. Um, I think I remember when I had braids too that I would do conditioner on the braids so that it could keep it from getting too fuzzy as opposed to shampoo. But if you do the dry shampoo in your scalp in the different sections that you have, then you can, rinse it off and that'll go to the rest of your hair. I hope that answered your question for you. But yeah, we have to, and that's another thing that I'm realizing. Listen, when I had this flare up with my thyroid, I was not washing my hair. I think I just washed my hair this week. I was able to get some energy, and this is why I keep my hair short, because my hair is short, but it's medium density, and it's very coily, if you can tell. I actually put in the wax that I told you guys about, the Mofajang wax, and also is it ORS? Is it ORS? I think I did a video where I showed you guys where I use those two, and it really helps to brighten up my hair. I washed my hair already earlier this week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and then I was just like, my hair needs a little pop, and the wax gives my hair really great definition, and it makes it look shiny. So, what was I gonna say to you guys? But yeah, if you notice as far as your routine when it comes to your gray hair that you haven't been keeping up with it, maybe you haven't been doing any treatments, maybe you haven't been doing any deep conditioning, any you haven't been washing it, then like when I recently washed my hair after letting it go for 3 weeks, I wasn't surprised when I saw a lot of shed hair because I realized that, that's normal. And if I washed my hair a long time, I wasn't detangling it. So when it comes to your expectations about your hair, really take a step back and evaluate what's going on in your routine. Have you been keeping up with it as you usually do? And if you haven't, then no need to beat yourself up, but it just helps you to see instead of like, what's wrong with my hair? It's like, oh, things have been crazy. I haven't been able to take care of it as I usually do. So it makes sense why my hair is behaving that way. And similar to anything, when it comes to our health, even with our hair, give it some time. Give it a month of you washing your hair consistently, you conditioning or moisturizing your hair, keeping up with your diet and different things like that to be able to see if you see a difference. Sometimes we think, okay, my hair's feeling dry, I'm going to put some moisturizer in it, or I'm going to wash and deep condition it. Why isn't it moisturized? And it may take a little bit more time than that. Your hair's like, well, you've been neglecting me, so, what do you expect me to do? Um, so I really think we can't underestimate what we put in our body and how it shows up everywhere else. Our skin and our hair can tell on us if we've been keeping up with and it doesn't have to be anything big because believe me, today was hard. We took our son to McDonald's so he could get a little Happy Meal, and then my husband decided to get a number three, and I was just like, how could you do that? I was like, what am I gonna do here with y'all in the car with them yummy smelling fries and salt? But you know what I did? I brought a little lunch bag and I had my grapes and I had some walnuts and I had some salmon that I had put together, canned salmon, and I sat there and I ate it. So it helped because I wasn't hungry. And I'm just really trying to take my health seriously because I realize that it's obviously in a very, crisis of a state. And so those are the things we just have to do, guys. We have to make our health priority if you want good hair. Hi, 10 Veils. Nice to have you on here. And this was another thing. I was like, look, I haven't been on here and showed my face to you guys in a couple of weeks. So I said, I'm feeling good today. I got makeup on, which is, I haven't put makeup on in a long time. So don't think that this is how I am all the time. Um, and another thing, I had told you guys a while ago that, my channel is not just about hair. I From having chronic health conditions, I have learned the power of words and affirming yourself. And that's something else I want to be able to impart to you. New Jazz, you've been eating plant based for a year and 3 months. What changes have you seen since doing that? Um, I want to be able to encourage you, whether it comes to your hair, there's a lot of things in life that are out of our control. Um, I may want to have thick and luscious hair like my sister. Hey, Sheila. But my hair is fine and it's a different density than hers. And so like learning to have acceptance, learning to have patience, learning to have realistic expectations, our mindset is so important when it comes to our hair because we can be out here having such high expectations for our hair and our hair is like, I don't know how you expect me to do this or to, to do that. And some things are just what comes with age. We're going to do our best to age as gracefully as we can. I'm not telling you to let yourself go, but there are some things that come with us getting older. You know, our follicles will change, our density of our hair will change. Your hair may not be as thick as it was when you were 20 or 30. And it's not that you did something wrong, it's just a part of, you know, the aging process. So this is why I say mindset is another really big key, because instead of walking around, and I know it's easier said than done, you know, wishing we had something that we don't have, um, you know, like, thank you, Demi. You know, it's best for us to do the best that we can. So, like, even when it comes to my hair, I noticed the difference in my skin when I finally washed my hair. Does that happen to you guys? I remember when I used to get relaxer, right before I get relaxer, my face would break out or just not look its best. And the moment I got a relaxer, oh my goodness, it was just like back to life. And so I noticed when I hadn't washed my hair in a long time, when I finally washed and conditioned it and took care of it, oh, my skin looked a lot better. And another thing that's important, guys, when it comes to the health of your hair is massages. Like, especially when it comes to our follicle health, it's important to massage. You have more energy, less fatigue, no bloating, your hair's grown. The first year without coloring your hair, it went away. I don't see if I could see that comment. But that's good. That seems like you have some really great results, New Jazz, from your hair. It's important to do things that we don't think beyond a product. It's also important for us to take care of our inside health. And so my goal, I have a water bottle that I try to make sure I drink 60 ounces of water. This is just for me personally, but just drinking water, like those things can be helpful besides deep conditioner. Um, and another thing that I'm noticing is the importance of, like, after I start getting my thyroid under control, I'm going to let you guys know if I see a difference, because I did start to see some thinning for myself, even with my hair. I was just like, my strands are long, but it was just really stringy. Um, and I'm going to see if also I have any difference in here, if this starts to grow back. Part of that could also be my bonnet. I remember seeing a video that said, try not to wear your bonnet all day because your hair, your scalp needs to breathe. So we'll see if there are any changes. I recently got a haircut. So what day is today? Is Saturday? So I got a haircut on Monday. So that's when I washed my hair, on Monday. And so just today or yesterday I put in the wax, so it looks like I just washed my hair, which is pretty cool. So, and even with the wax, that was something that I learned. You know, there are purple shampoos and different things that you can do to help with yellowing with your gray hair. But when I put this wax in, I don't have to necessarily worry about yellowing because it makes my hair look shiny, and I'm able to use it. Still kind of keeps the integrity of my gray hair pattern as well. It doesn't look too fake. So I did it like, I did it darker in the back and then lighter in the front. So, you know, I'm here to encourage you to do what you can with what you have, with the wings that you have, you know, as a butterfly. That's what I like to call you guys. So if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my Hashimoto's journey, because I think it was something really surprising to me. Your gray hair looks so strong, but so fragile and thin. It's mostly sprinkled around your edges. Kathy, the brand of wax that I use is Mofajang and the ORS. I am on the East Coast, 10 Vales. Um, I will put a link for the waxes that I use, and also the video where I show you guys how I use it. Now, not everybody's hair is the same, but my hair loves the weight of the wax. It seems as though I used my, you know, duo that I usually use for wash and go, which is the Uncle Funky's Curly Magic. You're welcome. and I also used the Aunt Jackie's Curl Boss. But it seemed like my hair, I don't know, it wasn't giving what I'm usually used to. But when I put the wax in, it said hello. Like, I mean, it just, I think it gives a good weight, good cast or a good mold for my hair. But yeah, see, like my hair, I don't remember it being this thin. So this is something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on when it comes to, what's going on with my health. Definitely within this first week of taking the supplements that I'm taking and trying to stay away from the bad foods and things like that, I noticed that my neck went down a little bit. Now, it's so funny, right? When I first came on YouTube, I remember there was a video that I did where I talked about how I felt self-conscious about my neck and how I just felt fat. But now again, like that could have been my body letting me know as well that something was going on around there. Edwinder, that's a beautiful name. You just asked how often do I get trims. So a professional trim, I haven't got a professional trim in, no, I can't say 6 years. Because when I would get my hair done at the barber, that is what you could consider a trim. But it's been a while. Like, I don't have him take care of the top anymore because one time I did that and like my hair was really, really short. So you could say my last trim was maybe a year or two ago, as far as the top of my hair. But recently I did use the Revair machine, which is a reverse hair dryer. And that, if you guys saw my video where I showed you how straight my hair was, I did a trim then. So that was January. I think it was January. And I do like just the, you know, nothing really big. How about you guys? How frequently do you do trims? That's another thing that can be something that your hair is telling you that you need as far as like your ends. Because when I do get a trim, I notice a difference in my wash and goes and how my hair behaves. Um, so I'm encouraging you guys to make sure that if don't just look at your hair alone. You are a whole being. One thing that's going on with you could be affecting the other. If you're going through a lot of stress right now and your hair is out of whack, that could be connected. If you are on medication and maybe you change dosage or you change different brand of medication, maybe that's affecting your hair. Maybe you moved from one area to another and the climate is different. That could be affecting your hair. So there's so many things that we need to consider and evaluate when it comes to the signs that your hair is showing you. But really, at the end of the day, gray hair does tend to be drier, and as we get older, our hair can thin. So I do not want you to think. Sometimes too, we're always thinking like, what am I doing wrong? And there may be nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just what's happening with your hair. And another thing that can be frustrating is you could look at someone else. There are other silver sisters who have thicker gray hair than I do. So if you're dealing with thinning, similar to men, when they start to thin, there might be certain areas where you find yourself thinning a little bit more. Paula, your gray hair has a mind of its own. You're not the only one. Let me tell you, when I straightened my hair, that's when my hair felt the most dry and brittle. I think I talked to you guys about this before, but when my hair is coily like this, um, it feels really good. But now we're getting into warmer weather, and I'm starting to see that I'm like playing around a little bit more with different products that I'm using. So that might be another issue as well. But like I said, I'm going to keep you guys posted on this um, because today is a good day and I'm sitting up and talking to you, but there were days like I was not able to get out of bed. And it almost reminded me of when I was pregnant with my son, like a fatigue that was just like, you can't get your head off the pillow. And it could be really demoralizing sometimes because you think it's okay a week, but when it goes on for weeks, it can just be really hard to be patient. And this is what this journey is teaching me: patience. Patience, giving yourself the time to implement what you need to. You're not the only one, Kathy. It's an ongoing learning process. I'm learning my hair still from the it's gonna be 5 years in May since I stopped coloring my hair. Jane, that's a good point too. I review a lot of products for you guys on here, but you don't need to be using as many products as I do. Sometimes if you're using too much, that could also be your hair telling you, like, cut it out. I like this, stick with this. Um, but what was I saying before that? I forgot. And that was another thing. Like, I was having brain fog and just a lot of different things. So if you are a fellow thyroid warrior, my heart goes out to you because, especially when it's autoimmune, there are things that I can do to manage it, but it will always be there. So that's something that I'm always going to need to be aware of, you know, even when it comes to stress and getting sleep, like all those things affect us. So what I was saying to you before too is that we're holistic. So listen to what your body and your hair is telling you. Take care of yourselves, because you only have one body. Try and take the best care of it that you can. And like I said, mindset is another big key of it. So if you are dealing with health conditions or different things that are out of your control, patience is called upon you so much. Being able to adjust to the new things that are happening. I'm pretty sure soon I'm going to be talking to you guys about menopause as well. Like, I know because my hormones are out of balance right now, um, that's going to be causing a lot of things as well. Kathy, you have an Alma rinse spray, has been great for your hair. Use it 3 times a week. Nice. So, are you great? Are you It's interesting you're using Alma. Do you find it staining your hair, Kathy? Paula, you've been natural for 10 years, gray for 9 years. So, when you started to go gray, Paula, did you find any big shift between your hair being natural and gray natural? I'd love to hear that because a lot of people say, um, and let me know in the comments if you are someone who's gray and relaxed. Because most of the people who are my subscribers or who I've talked to have been natural. Um, but you'll find that being natural and then being gray natural is also a learning curve. So if you're still learning your hair, you're not alone. And like I said, it'll be 5 years for me in May, and I'm still learning it. It's changing your color. Okay. In a good way, or are you using it to color your gray hair? Because I know Alma is really good as a Ayurvedic type treatment. But another thing that you realize as far as like this being ongoing is I have a whole lot more gray now than I did when I first started. And so your hair is going to behave differently when you have a whole lot more. And let me tell you, it's not just us women. Jane, how often should you deep condition, use argan conditioner? I will say that varies. If you find that your hair does well with maybe one deep condition or two, like every other wash, then that's good. I find for me, I do it every single time I wash my hair. Now, I don't wash my hair weekly. So, definitely by the time 2, 3 weeks, my hair is like crying and screaming for some moisture. So, you could say I'm pretty much deep conditioning once a month or twice. Um, but it depends on the condition of your hair. I think if I'm in a rush sometimes and I just do conditioner, I notice the difference. 10, you're naturally gray. You started graying in your teens. Okay. Um, Someone else said something right there, and it's gone. Paula, yes, you had to learn how to deal with the gray being natural. It's still a learning process because sometimes she doesn't like the product I have to switch to. Yeah, yeah, I'm noticing that as well. Um, yeah, deep conditioning is a must for me, and I'm noticing because I found products that I like as far as protein, and also the Olaplex. Those are really nice. Now, I have had someone tell me when they tried Olaplex, they had issues with their hair. Kathy, your hair almost reverted back to the original color. You don't have much gray. Okay, that's good to know if anybody's looking to cover their gray. Maybe amla, because I know that's a kind of henna, right? I think. Um, because I know there are different kinds. There's cassia. Um, I forgot the other ones, but I know those things help to strengthen the hair as well. But yeah, I know it's for me. If you're dealing with, there are those of you who are talking about. I think someone said their hair is strong, but it's just thinning, and that could be the nature of how it's changing. Um, so yeah, I want you guys to make sure when you are evaluating your hair to make sure that you are including all the things that are going on with you. Um, your stress levels, your sleep, if you're taking medication, your environment. What's the other one? What you're eating. There's something else. Hi, Carol. Yes, I did. I used the color wax. And for those of you who are looking to give your gray hair a shine, I'm not sure if that works for everyone. If you have straighter gray hair, I wouldn't necessarily suggest the color wax, but it's shining today. It looks really nice. I do also have a ring light on right now, so but when I went outside, it looked really nice as well. So I'm going to head out, guys. Thank you so much for coming on here. I appreciate your support and your patience. Please put any questions that I didn't answer in the comments, and I will definitely be doing a video in the future. Some of the videos that I might be doing might be a little shorter than usual. I will come on here live when I can. If you're not on my email list already, go to naturalgraceful.com so that you could be on there. Thank you, Kathy, Gloria, Henna, Indigo. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Gloria. But yes, you can go on my email list. That's another way for you to be able to keep in contact with me because I am just, putting it out there that the struggle is real. And it started to really become real when it came to content creation. And, we got to take care of ourselves. So I hope you guys have a great weekend too. It was nice to meet some of you for the first time. Thank you for joining my live and asking great questions. Remember, guys, to take care of yourselves, not just with your health, but also the things that you say to yourselves. So I'm sending you lots of love and compassion. Thank you for your support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.